Alright. Hello, you tubulators, as Cutworm would say. Cutworm, this is for you. This is crazy for hot rods. Just got back from seeing you last weekend. Was telling you about this little track T slash mini sprint car from way back in the 60s that I had. Was planning on making a little rat rod project out of. So here's a little more of what I was telling you about. Of course, it has these big slicks on it, both sides. There are no, anyway, these little bars here are where these little chrome, I'll show you over on the other side, that come out and then go down this way and connect back to the frame to help hold the body on. It had a big aluminum wing on top that I took off. It was from around here locally at a racetrack, dirt track here in town. Dirt track has long since been closed down, and called the number on the deal, and it was for a wrecker service. It's still in business, but they didn't know nothing about the car. It was just, people threw their names on just about anything back then. But anyway, it's a little bitty short, I believe it's 98 or 89 inch wheelbase. It's really short. Of course, there's the seat. There's the gauges. You're sitting basically on top of, and I'll try to you're basically sitting right on top of the rear axle. The U-joint actually is like right here. I mean, if it come loose, you're gonna lose the family jewels. Anyway, like I was telling you, I mean, there's the steering wheel. As you can see, it went straight down and was kind of cobbled up into that steering gearbox, which comes out, and as you can see, it was kind of cheaply thrown together with a piece of pipe here to hold it on. And these aren't very thick. They're not like 3/16. I mean, they're really thin, as you can see. I'm trying to get it better. As you can see, as opposed to my finger, it's really, really kind of thin. It came out of the gearbox there, come out here to this cobbled up thing. Here looks like a piston, half of a piston rod that comes down, connecting rod that just is cut off there and welded, and then they have some kind of box tubing that comes out here, and as you can see, it's kind of cobble welded here. I mean, you had to really be off your medication to drive this thing, that's for sure. Master cylinder, just a little thin. Like I said, it's not even 3/16. I mean, it's real thin stuff holding that on. I mean, when the brake pedal would have connected. I think I've got the little, just a swing thing is what they had for a brake pedal. I mean, it's scary to think somebody was behind the wheel of this going, no telling how fast. It does have a straight axle under it. Disc brakes in the front. It's like I said, it's really kind of surprising that this thing actually held together. My plans are to rip the front axle out of it, maybe build another frame. I've got a frame over there in a little lean-to shed that thinking about back halfing and kind of shortening it up, But some of these. Let me see if I can get it in the picture right there. I mean, this is the tie rod end coming out, and I mean, you can see the threads of the tie rod there, so there's only like part of a weld here, and it's just crazy, guys. I mean, it's just crazy that somebody would actually have the testicular fortitude to actually be in this thing going down the road at no telling how fast. I mean, it's just crazy. Let's see if we can come around here. I mean, there's the shock mounts. Oh, I was going to show you how thin that is, that frame deal is. I mean, if you'll look, I don't know. I mean, my pocket blade, or my blade on my pocket knife is thicker than that. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you flip this, it twist it. I mean, if you got hit, I mean, it just buckle. I mean, I just don't see how they done it. I mean, well, I mean, this was the hairpin rods. I mean, it's just this here was the hairpin rod that comes back and connects to the frame, and I mean, it's aluminum. I mean, this was bent by hand. I mean, I can sit there and I can sit here and I mean, it's just, let's see if I can, yeah. I mean, it's just, I was holding the front end together. I mean, come on, people. I mean, here's the thickest part. Now that's not even heavy Chevy approved, but you know, or Chevaholic. I mean, they wouldn't approve that. And that's probably the thickest part on here. Oh, goodness gracious, people. I mean, there's another part of a connecting rod that's welded there for a bracket, I guess, of some sort. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's just crazy. Here's those things that I was telling you about. I mean, and these are aluminum. I mean, I could crush this. I could crush this easier by hand than you probably could an aluminum can. And those things are thin. I mean, this is just a piece of aluminum that was like a skid guard or something, you know, like a brush guard to keep the other car off of you. It's just crazy. I mean, they'd hit the tires. As you can see, the tires stick out. Sorry about that. The tires stick out further than the aluminum thing. So, I mean, you're actually going to hit their tire before you hit this aluminum brush guard. But it's crazy. I got two of those. And, you know, it's got a friction shocks on it. I don't know if you can see those right there. I mean, you take this piece right here, you take 4 bolts, 2 on each side. Well, no, 4 on this side, sorry, 4 on this side by the seat right here. And then the back side by the axle, you take, well, I guess it'd be 4 there too. I don't know what this piece is. It's actually further back. But anyway, you take that short piece out to actually get the axle out because it's kind of encased in this frame. So if the axle broke loose, it's not going to just fly anywhere, I guess. I mean, that was, but I mean, as you can see, look, this was the aluminum, and it has absolutely just split down the center. I mean, and then disc brakes on the back. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna save the rear axle, and mainly the brake setup. I may go with different gears in the rear end or something. I don't know. I mean, being a track, you know, oval track, I'm sure the gears are just stupid. But here's an idea. That's the drive shaft. I mean, just a little bitty tiny thing. So, in relation to where that yoke is at, you can see it right there. I mean, just right there. You can see the rear axle. So that puts the yoke just right there at the edge of that seat. I mean, right at the edge of that seat. I just don't see how anybody drove this thing. I mean, bad enough the axles are, I mean, the end of the transmission and that short little drive shaft is right there between your legs. I mean, but I guess that's how they done it back in the day. I mean, if you was gonna have something that was so lightweight, and you know this, it had a, what was it, a 350 or 305 or 350? I believe it was a 350. I think the guy told me. But if you'd taken it apart, water had gotten down in it. I didn't get the motor. Didn't want the motor. My plans were to build something different. But I mean, they got some pretty good. I mean, the motor was, the bracket was the only thing that, I mean, as you can say, this is, oh, I don't know, a good 1/4 inch or thicker. Maybe even a 1/2 inch. I mean, and then probably 3/16 or a little thicker on the plate here. But man, I mean, it's just crazy. All right, well, it's been long enough. I mean, we're in 11 minutes in, so I'll cut off here. But yeah, cutworm, there it is, buddy. I told you it was crazy. Man, it's nuts. You definitely have to have a screw loose, that's for sure, to be behind the wheel of this. So that may be the name I call it, screw loose or something. I don't know when I build it, but I mean, it's just crazy, some of this. I mean, they got this big piece of pipe bent almost in two to flat, and then all the stuff wedged in and then welded. It's just, I don't know, I just can't understand. I mean, and we're talking aluminum. You can see this one down here is bent. You know, it's aluminum. I mean, it's not going to hold up, people. But anyway. All right, cutworm. There you are, buddy. Talk to you later.